Stem and leaf diagrams are a nice way of summarizing data because you can kind of see how it's distributed. So we're going to make what almost looks like a table. We're going to have the stem and then the leaf. Now we don't necessarily have to write stem and leaf, but I just want to write it here so you can see what each part is. Now, look at your data. What I've got here is I see 2-digit numbers. So I'm going to make the stem the tens digit and the leaf the ones digit. So look at what we have. Go through and see for the smallest to the biggest. We've got a 5, a 6, an 8, a 7, 9, 9. Wow, we've got some old cowboys here. 7s, a 4. Well, it looks like the lowest one is a 4, and the highest one might be in the 9s. So here's what I'm going to write. I'm going to write, if I can, I'm going to write 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now let's just go through and count these data. Now it doesn't matter how you count them. Go through the rows, down the columns. I'll just go down the columns. There's fewer. I can keep track of it that way. So if I go down the columns, I see a 5 and an 8. All right, now I'm going to go down to the 5, and I'm going to add an 8. So I've got the tens digit here, the ones digit here. So I will have an 8. Now it is really important to keep these things lined up in proper columns, as you'll see in the next one. The next number here is 92. So I'm going to go to the 9 and mark a 2. All right, so I'll have 92. And you can see the 92 right there. Now the last number in this column is an 85. So go to the 8 over to the 5. All right, 8, see if I can write it. 8 to 5. Now it is important to keep this lined up, as we'll see when we get to the end. Okay, let's go to the second column. Second column, what have we got? We've got a 52, 66, 84. So 52. So go to the 5, and then over here, in the next column, write a 2. So I'll have 52. Oh, let me get a different color here. Let me go to 52. Then we've got, where are we? 66. So we'll go to 66. Now that appears in the first column, right? Because that's the first 6 that appears with the 6. Now, what else? Got an 84. So go to the 8 and a 4 in the next column, right? So we'll have an 84. And I want to be sure now that these line up, right? So I've got 2 distinct columns here. Now, third column, 68, 68, and 90. So 68 and 68. So I'll go to the 6, I'll put an 8 and then another 8, because I have 2 of them. An 8 and then another 8, and then we've got this 90. So I'll come over to the 9, and I'll put the 0 right here. We'll do one more column, and then I'll fill it out. I think you get the idea. 86, 87, 57. So I'll go to the 8, I'll put a 6 and a 7. So here's the 8, I'll put a 6 and a 7. So a 6 in the third column, a 7 in that fourth column, and then what did we say? 57. So go to the 5 and put a 7. All right, I'm going to finish it off. So I just finished it off. So what do we have here? We have one cowboy lived 47 years, and in our group we had what? 3 cowboys living to 58, 52, and 58. And then we had what? 6 cowboys living to 66, 68, 68, 2 of them to 68, a 67, a 66, and a 61. All right? And I've got this drawn so that lines up, lines up, lines up, lines up, lines up, lines up. Let me get rid of those. And now you can kind of see the distribution. You see what happens here? And this distribution here? Now, if you look from low to high, what you can see is that the longevity increases and then kind of maxes out in the 70s and 80s and kind of high in the 90s. So it looks like these cowboys lived quite a while. So this is a stem and leaf diagram.